Hey guys, it is your girl, Miss Scarlett. Oh hell no! And I know that I had a scheduled live for 4 p.m., but I decided that I wanted to go a little bit earlier. So once I start having people come into the room, I'll start talking. You know, with me, it doesn't matter on whether or not it's one or two, three or four, but we have something to talk about. And I see I have one person in the chat. Today we'll be discussing Miss Brittney Griner. And unfortunately, guys, up until um, last week, I hadn't really been paying attention to the story. And I found out that this has been going on now for 5 months. So we're going to go into a deep dive on this story. And if I can get someone to come into the room and let me know that you all can hear me, I'm going to get started. You know that you can red ball it back, or you could watch the replay. It doesn't matter to me, but yeah. So I'm just gonna wait until I get somebody in here and let me know that you guys can actually hear me. I see two people in the chat. Can someone let me know if you can hear me? Just drop down and say hello. I know I haven't been here in a while. I've been kind of sick under the weather. No, guys, I don't have monkeypox. I see two eyes. Okay, hey Cheryl D and Cool Gamer. You can hear me just fine. Okay, great. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Like I said before, if you come into the live late, welcome. I guess you're looking at the replay. And as you can see, we're going to be talking about cannabis today. We're going to talk about a little cannabis, a little THC, a little weed, if you will. So listen, guys, I haven't been paying no attention to the WNBA basketball player. Actually, guys, believe it or not, I'm not an NBA fan, a WNBA fan. You could catch me sometimes watching a little baseball, but when it comes to sports, football is my thing. So basically, I heard like a few months ago that we had WNBA player that went to Russia. They found some cannabis on her and they arrested her. And I heard the other day that she was actually sentenced to 9 years in a Russian prison camp. So, this kind of got me, wondering. I want to know a little bit about this young lady and know what was going on. So I have been doing a little research over the internet. I found out that Brittney is 31 years old and was born in Houston, Texas. And she is the youngest of Sarah and Ray Griner. And she is the fourth child of their four children. Why did she go to Russia with some marijuana? I don't know. Basically, what I've been doing, guys, is I've been doing a little research, like I said. And when it comes to cannabis and the laws of Russia, it says that Russia government takes a tough stance on possession of the use of cannabis and possession of cannabis. Both are illegal according to their Article 228 of the country's criminal code. I wanted to find out like what was the harshest sentences and what could happen if you were caught with cannabis, because this young woman has a 9-year sentence. So I wanted to find that out. I also wanted to see if there were any other United States citizens that has went to Russia and what happened to them if they had been caught with cannabis. And I found a young lady, a teen island, a Staten Island teenager by the name of her name is Audrey Larber. She was 19 years old, and she was caught with 19 grams of marijuana, which is the equivalent of 375 US dollars. And what happened to her? Well, she's free. She's free. And of course, she is of the Caucasian persuasion. So I went and did a little research on that, and we'll come back to that. But let's talk about this timeline when it comes to Brittney. So on 7/7/2022, Brittney she pled guilty of being found with drugs in a Russian court. It says Trump GOP adds insults to injury as Brittney Griner remains jailed in Russia. It says that she goes back to court after the last time she did plead guilty again. She's still behind bars on 7/20/22, and they are dividing opinions. It says that on 7/21/2022, the United States disrespectfully with wrongful it says the United States disrespectfully with wrongful detention claims on Brittney Griner. And then it says on 2022, on 7/22, it says that we found out everything we knew and who's been supporting her. And then on 7/27/2022, the U.S. offered convicted arms trafficker in prison swap with Brittney Griner. And then, of course, bullshit. And of course, the 8-1 Trump sides with Russia over the capture of Brittney. Whatever, Trump. What the fuck ever, okay? So basically, Miss Brittney over there, she gonna this. So when we go back to what I was stating about their laws, so it says possession of up to 6 grams is regarded as an administrative offense. Anything above 7 grams is a criminal offense. However, there has been reports of people being arrested for cannabis possession only to have the authorities exaggerate the amount of cannabis that they were caught with. So, for a large scale of possession, the following punishments may be given: a fine of up to 40,000 rubles, the equivalent amount of 3 months of the offender's wages and salary. You will have to work in a compulsory jail for 480 hours, corrective labor for up to 2 years, restriction and deprived of liberties for up to 3 years, in most instances, prison. So, if I'm not mistaken, Brittney was caught with I haven't been able to find the actual amount of marijuana that she was caught with, but from what I heard, it was a very minimum amount in comparison to the young lady that I spoke on earlier. I'm trying to find it, but I haven't been able to find it. The only thing that I've been able to find are, things that are saying that she was actually sentenced to 9 years of prison, and the fine that she paid was If I'm not mistaken, it was 200,000 rubles. Oh no, it says that Russian prosecutors has asked the judge during closing arguments to sentence Griner to 5 years. I'm sorry, 9 years and 6 months of prison, just below the maximum allowed sentence of 10 years. The prosecutor also asked that Griner is fined 1 million rubles, roughly the equivalent of 16,600 US dollars. Yeah, harsh, very harsh. Now, if you were caught with an especially large scale possession, these are the penalties. You could be fined up to 5,000 rupees. So that right there in itself is gone above the law, because generally, in certain cases, you can be fined. It says up to 5,000 rupees, but in her case, they charged her with 1 million rupees. So they've already upped the ante and doubled that amount. Then it says the equivalent of up to 9 years of the offendant's wages of salaries, and a restriction or deprive of liberty for 3 to 10 years. So they gave her right under the 10-year amount of time in jail or prison. They gave her 9 years. So they didn't go over the amount of years that she could get, but they did go over it. It says if you're caught selling cannabis in Russia on a large scale or carried out part of a bigger group of people, increase the prison years to 5 to 12 years, and possibly accommodated by a fine to up to 500 rubles. So even then, if you're selling it, you're not charged 1 million rubles. Like, what the hell are y'all doing over there in Russia? So this got me to thinking, like, okay, so Russia, is this political? Or do you have Brittney as a political pawn? Are you treating her in this manner as a political pawn, Russia? Is this due to her skin color? When I was looking at some of those pictures of Brittney is towering the people that are walking her through handcuffs. She's towering them. She's way taller than them. So I don't know. But let's go back to the young lady from Staten Island. Why don't we? So this happened back in 2019. It says that a Staten Island teen jailed in Russia after being caught with weed. A Staten Island teen is locked in a Russian jail cell after authorities caught her with marijuana while on a vacation with her mother, official says. Audrey was arrested in the, y'all know these Russian words, child. But it says Pulkovo Airport in St. Petersburg when a Russian agent found her with 19 grams of marijuana, which is worth about $375 in the United States, according to a Moscow district court of St. Petersburg. So she was caught with double the amount of marijuana. And I think Brittney was caught with THC oil, but she was actually caught with double the amount of marijuana than Brittney was caught with the oil. It says it's unclear how long Laura has been in custody, but the last photo posted on social media showing her as a free woman more than a month ago. It says she and her mother, retired U.S. New York City school teacher Rochelle, was on vacation in Eastern Europe nation, and Audrey was caught with illicit cannabis. Her boss at the Waterside restaurant said he spoke to Rochelle about 2 weeks ago, and she was scrambling on a way to secure Audrey from release. She's hysterical. She's moved out of there and got an apartment just to try to get to her on house arrest, but they didn't get her on house arrest. It's disgusting what they did. They're trying to throw the book at her. You think, hey, Mr. Marcus, how are you today? So you saying they trying to throw the book at her because they didn't give her house arrest. Okay, let's continue. It says, so it says that she has a prescription for medical marijuana in the US and produced the court documents to prove it. Okay. Okay. So we're gonna get back to that too on another front. But to prove it. And it says, but it does not apply to the territory of the Russian Federation. It says Russian officials, which allowed pardons of 2018 World Cup for bringing heroin, cocaine, and marijuana into the stadium as long as they had a doctor note written in Russia. So, in order for you to be able to bring cannabis in Russia, you had to have a doctor's note written in Russia to even bring heroin and cocaine as well as marijuana. Like, do they have the medical grade cocaine and heroin? Jesus will. All right, for personal consumption, it says the country's imprisonment more people per capita for drug crimes in any other Eastern European nation, according to the Moscow Times. Most are arrested for violating the same law. Lobert was accused of breaking Article 228. Y'all remember Article 228. You know those fines, they could be a little hefty, but nothing compared to what they gave Miss Brittney Griner. It says the law's nickname in Russia translate to the People's Article because of the most numerous people have been jailed for violating it. A quarter of all Russian prisoners are in jail due to drug-related crimes, according to the paper. Um, what I'm trying to get to by reading this article is what this young lady was actually charged and how did they release her from jail. And I had it. Let me see. I wrote it down. Hold on. No, I didn't. I just wrote down the laws. Hold on. I know this ain't interesting to the beef sector people, but I think anybody who's sitting in here with me, I appreciate you all. Okay, so it says at the time Audrey was 19 years old, and I'm getting this from Revolt. Audrey was 19 years old and she served roughly 2 months in a Russian prison after she was found guilty of smuggling 19 grams of THC while her family was on vacation. They found her 15,000 rubles, which is the equivalent of 375 US dollars. In comparison, it say everybody's talking about the Russian law, and the law is the law. But literally in 2019, Audrey was arrested for the same exact thing. She had 19 grams. 19. Guess what her sentence was? 2 months. 2 whole months. 2 whole months. It says everybody is talking about this Russian law. As previously reported by Revolt, Griner was charged and sentenced to 9 years in prison by a Russian judge on Thursday, August the 4th. The NBA superstar was also ordered to pay a fine of 1 million rupees, which is 16,400 in US dollars. Mm. And that today is why I'm here. I want to talk about the political aspects of it. And what I find to be kind of crazy to me is that the US has already said that they would give the arms dealer back to Russia in trade of Brittney. But then they said, we're going to up the ante. We want y'all to get another prisoner released. But guess what, guys? This prisoner is not in the United States. Mm-mm. So we're supposed to, the United States, which they say we're a superpower, we're supposed to be able to go to another country and say, look, y'all need to release this person to Russia so that we can actually get Brittney back. And these just don't got nothing to do with the United States. Russian trade for Brittney. This don't have nothing to do with Russia, child. I mean, the United States, honey. So it says that the Russian entrepreneur Victor Bout, who was sentenced in the United States for arms sales, may be traded for the basketball player Brittney Griner, who is accused in Russia for drug trafficking. Mm-hmm. 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 They call him the merchant of death. So they want us to give them back somebody who actually is known, a known person that, gives you a weapon to end people's lives. But I guess, I don't know, were they trying to say that Brittney was going to be sharing this marijuana with other people and they can end their lives? Because it seemed like to me she would be doing more damage to herself. And then the whole messed up part for me is the fact that Brittney is there in Russia being on their team to help perhaps make their team win WNBA games. I don't know how that go. Mm-hmm. I told y'all basketball like my thing, child. I don't know nothing about no basketball. I'm trying to find this other person, other country. Girl, y'all be leaving me alone. I can't find it, but I was listening to Rocks the other day, and she said that they wouldn't do the trade unless they also included another person too. And this other person really does, they're not even a prisoner of the United States. So how could they be asking the United States to free someone of another country and trade of Brittney and also throw the arms dealer on top of that as well? So yeah, you know, I don't know, guys. I kind of feel some kind of way. Yesterday I had did y'all know me. I don't know why my channel has become this channel for the people, but I just find that it is so sad how I hate to say it, but in her case, I feel like it has to do with the color of her skin, and it has a whole lot to do with the political aspect as far as this war between Russia and the Ukraine is concerned, because they let Aubrey go in 2 months, and she only had to pay what Aubrey paid $375, but Brittney had to pay 16,400 US dollars. Is it because y'all think Brittney got some cheese because she played in the WNBA? I'm just asking for a friend, child. Like, I don't understand the correlation here. I don't. And this happened in 2000, and I mean, you can't, if she, especially she coming out of work for y'all. Y'all can't be a little lenient. I mean, dear Russia. mm, and like I said earlier in the broadcast, they already overextended the amount of money that they charged her as a fine, because it says that the maximum amount that they would charge would be 500,000 rubles. So they already overextended that. mm I don't know. But if you go and look up the cannabis laws, someone actually documented on this particular feed. Um it says 5 March 2022. Brittney Griner, one of the America's most decorated women in basketball. She has been detained by the Russian Federal Customs Service after it said that she was discovered having vape cartridges that contain hashish oil in her luggage in a airport in Moscow. So, mm, somebody wrote me a letter, guys. It says, "Hey, Scarlett, I tell you, instead of DK, what's wrong in the article 2 days ago? I was trying to buy some seeds with shipment to Russia. Sesame seeds do not ship to Russia, thinking that seed shipping is illegal process. That's wrong. I was informed that Sesame guy from supported service about it. Seeds do not count as drugs substance inside. Therefore, Russia has no law restriction connected to seed shipping. However, I was admitted to the law enforcement practices based on Article 228 is an example of punitive punishment. That's why I strongly recommend to be very careful for any person who lives in Russia or visit Russia. Okay. And that's my whole gripe. And I guess the reason why I had not been paying attention to this whole story is the fact that, um, as I learned, Brittany has been playing for Russia on her off season for years now. So, I can understand if this had been her first time going over to Russia, but I feel like it's certain things that once you visit certain areas of the world, you should know like the actual laws. No, I'm not victim shaming, because she's definitely a victim in this situation based on the things that I've seen that they've done to other people, as far as letting them go after 2 months and the penalties that they charge them. I know the most that she could have gotten based on that law is 10 years, but they gave her what? No, 9 years and a few months later, right at the peak of the penalty. But I feel like once you start going into other countries, it's always imperative that you pay attention to their laws. um, I know before we went to Dubai, I wanted to know everything that I could be sentenced, charged, everything, because When you go into, I guess, what some might consider um countries that are not Christian based countries, you want to try and see what you could be charged with. And one of the laws in Dubai is you cannot curse, you cannot swear, you better not say fuck in no capacity whatsoever. You cannot even curse on social media within Dubai. They got a lot of crazy laws. When you're on public transportation, you cannot eat or drink. So you want to be familiar with the laws of where you're going to. And I would have, if I'm going somewhere, I would have said, oh, okay, I know I got to take my cannabis oil. One thing about me, guys, you might not know this, but I used to work in the airline industry. And I used to always get calls with people asking me, can I take this on the plane? Can I take that on the plane? Basically, you could take whatever you want to on the plane. It's whether or not you could get it through security, through TSA here in the United States. And if you're going out of the country, whether or not customs will allow you to bring it into that country. So I've always been very cognizant on whether or not, things that I can actually take into another country. I've had people contact me and say, I took my dog and they euthanized my dog and nobody told me. Nobody ain't got to tell you. That's your fucking dog. You needed to be on top of your shit when you going to a different country. Even here in the United States, if you going over to Hawaii, your dog has to be held for days in order for you to bring your animal into Hawaii, which is a part of the United States. So y'all just be cognizant. Y'all know what you doing when you traveling. Know what this country will allow and won't allow. And Brittney, I feel like you should have said, I know I got a prescription, but can I take cannabis oil with me to Russia? And I think Aubrey, her case would have came up and you would have seen that they gave her 2 months and they fined her 300 and whatever, how much dollars. And you should have looked at your damn arm and saw your skin complexion and said, oh, no, I ain't going to make it out there easy. I ain't gonna make it out that easy. And then her mama was already acting like a Karen because she was like, they're just trying to throw the book at her. See? Hell no. And honestly, guys, I think that's why I had not been so up on this news story, because I feel like as successful as Brittney is, you need to be doing your homework no matter where you go. And no matter what you do, you should have been doing your homework to see what is allowed, especially Russia. Child. Listen, up until today, I didn't even know what Brittney looked like. I didn't. I really didn't. And so I just pray that somehow, some way, that this is reversed and it's gonna be in the best interest for Brittney. I hope that they do reduce her sentence. I just can't see her in prison for 9 years. I really can't. Not over if I'm not mistaken, they said that the cannabis that she had was like 7 grams. 7 grams. It wasn't even 19. Do anybody in the chat know how much cannabis oil she had when she went over there? Mm. And all this time I've been saying to my I have this travel bucket list. It's been a few places that I would love to go to. And I would love to go and see the palaces in Russia. I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm a huge history buff. And sometimes I'm like, fuck the Queen's English. Let's talk about the czars. I want to speak about the czars. And Alexei and his family, Nikolai, all they were just over there. They just killed them. And that's how we came up with this regime that we have today. And before they were actually killed, they had all these beautiful palaces in Russia, and that's been one of my goals to get to Russia and see these palaces. But I guess I'm gonna have to go ahead and scratch that off my list because, baby, I can't do it. I cannot do it. I ain't going. I don't want to go. I don't. So I'm gonna have to go ahead and continue and go and see some of these other things in the world that I would like to see. But I'm not getting a lot of participation in the chat. But y'all can go to Revolt online and look up the case with the name of the article is Russia released a Staten Island teen jail for weed possessed in 2019, and they're doing a comparison of her. Oh, yes, that's what it said. It says people are comparing the 2019 incident to Brittney Griner's 9-year sentence in Russia for 7 grams versus her 19 grams. Yeah, so 7 grams. Baby, I see that's what I be telling y'all when I be doing those videos about the Karens and stuff like that. What I always tell y'all to do is you have to act like Karen every now and again. Now, I understand, most of us we have our minds intact and we know how to act in public and all that. But every now and again, you gotta cry. You gotta act like, oh my God, I'm so hurt. And my feel, I don't know. Sometimes it don't even matter because they don't give a fuck about your feelings. But every now and then, you gotta put your show face on, baby. On with Terrell Owens. I hate I wasn't in that damn premiere yesterday. But with Terrell Owens, and when she went to crying, baby, I would have fell on the floor and had a whole temper tantrum. I would have had to. And then you had that officer acting as if he's doing the most. They need to start locking these hoes up or finding them. They need to ticket these bitches at least. Cause this don't make no sense. You calling the police on this man talking about he's speeding through the neighborhood. Y'all, I gotta go. Cause I done jumped subject. I might have to come back and do another video because I ain't lying, y'all. That whole TO situation, it pissed me off. And then y'all know, um, I don't want to call the lady Karen, but before I stopped going live, I had somebody on my live and they was harassing me on my videos and commenting about things that I had did on my channel 3 years ago as far as arts and crafts are concerned. And I just felt like um I was being held up by Karen. And then I got sick. The bitch put a voodoo on me. And I feel like maybe they seen some of my Karen videos and they came to attack me. And they didn't like my thoughts on Karens. But I told y'all got to do it too. Y'all got to act like Karen too. Hey, Latanya, how you doing? I'm over here talking about the girl over there in Russia, honey. They don't gave the girl 9 years. And the only thing I said was she needed to act like Karen because they let Audrey out. They let her go after 2 months over there. And she had 19 grams of THC versus 7.7 grams. Wait a minute. Hold up. Wait a minute. She didn't even have a full gram, y'all. This girl had 0.7 grams. But the girl, the little white chick had 19 whole grams. I just realized this. This girl had 0.7 grams of marijuana. And then, what's her name? Audrey had 19 grams of marijuana. I'm sorry, weed, cannabis, and her mama at the fool got apartment, and they gave this girl 2 months, and she paid $375 versus 9 years for 0.7 grams of THC and $16,400. And I want to say that it's political. I'm gonna tell y'all like this. I feel like it's political over the color of her skin. I honestly do, cause at this time they at war. They feel like the United States is helping out the Ukraine. They feel it's political over that. It is. If she didn't say that it was hers and she brought it into their country, I say they sell her up. But she pled guilty to it. She really did plead guilty to it. She said it was her marijuana, but it was the doctor prescribed marijuana pen. But y'all see that the only thing that can be prescribed and used is if they did it over there in Russia. If you got a doctor in Russia, a Russian doctor to prescribe the marijuana, or girl, they said marijuana, heroin, or cocaine. So it don't even matter. Like if you are a heroin junkie and a Russian doctor prescribe it, you good. You good. I doubt if that happened though. But the little white chick said hers was miracle marijuana. It was medical marijuana too, Latanya. So, you can't argue that. But like I said, y'all, before y'all go on these international trips, know what you can and cannot do in these countries. One place that I'm gonna give y'all some places where y'all could go find this out. Hold on, let me find it for you. I'm gonna tell y'all where y'all can go find out all this information. So you ain't gonna be stuck in the you won't be stuck because y'all you could get stuck. I can't even think right now. This junk crazy to me. Hold on, y'all. Let me find out where y'all need to go. Helpful links. Okay, the best place where you need to go if you're gonna be traveling outside of the United States. And then I told y'all, even when you're traveling within the United States, you need to check other locations too, because like I said, if you going to Hawaii and you traveling with your dog, sometimes you have to actually you have to put your dog on quarantine, I think for 2 weeks, when you get to Hawaii, so you don't even have access to your dog. But I think it's the transportation security. Nah, that's TSA. Nah, I don't want TSA. Hold on. Not TSA, child. Um, I'm reading, y'all. I'm sorry. Okay, yeah, the website is the U.S. Customs website, and you could put in like where you traveling to and from, and what you can and can't do, and then another good website is the United States Department Bureau of Consular Affairs, that website. If you go over to that website, you can find out a whole lot about places where you're traveling to and from. You can know like it's travel.state.gov. I know it sounds like it's just a United States website, but you can also put in there what you're trying to do, where you're trying to go, and it will give you some of the parameters of where you're traveling to under the US travel portion of that website. It tells you what you can and cannot do as far as what you going, where you going. Like I said, we went to Dubai. We looked it up. Now they have some of the weirdest rules. But you have to understand, everybody is not under the same guidelines as the United States. Like I could sit here and curse y'all out, but it's not cute. But I won't go to jail for it here in the United States. But if I was over in Dubai and I went to cussing and act on the food, I could go to jail for it. So you just gotta know. Oh, and then I remember a long time ago where this lady, she had went to the Philippines and they caned her. Like I said, everywhere is different. They might have then put her in prison. They probably prison her for a few days and they caned her. And that means they beat her with a cane. They beat her. So you gotta know what you getting into. And that's my only argument with Brittney. Like, Brittney, you've been going back and forth to Russia playing for their basketball team for years. And you haven't researched what you can and can't do. That's weird to me. That's weird. That's right. Know the laws when you are traveling. And it's real, and there's so many laws on the book, even within the United States, that we don't follow or go by. It's still some states that say that if you have an affair, you could be prisoned. So you just gotta, do it. Don't be surprised when you go to jail after these regular laws they got out here. But that's it, y'all. I've been rambling, but I just wanted to do the comparison between Audrey, and I wanted to talk about what she should have been. I wanted to figure out and do my research to see if that was just overboard. What they how they sentenced her. Apparently, they went right under the maximum sentence, which is 10 years. She could have been sentenced 10 years, um and paid, but they did go overboard when it came to the fine. It says that the maximum fine is 500 rupees, and they charged her 500,000 rupees, I'm sorry, and they charged her 1 million rupees. So they had went overboard with the fine, but they was like right under the maximum sentence. And then you, girl, that's my thing too. Ooh, thank you, Latanya. Like, okay, you probably been getting through and sliding for years, But you already know them people don't want to deal with the United States. First of all, when you were going over there, who was the president? Putin friend. Putin friend was the president. So he was you know, trying to be cool with the United States. Now Putin friend is no longer the president. So he don't care nothing about Biden and his United States of America, baby. So what made this would have been the one time I would have had to leave my medical marijuana at the crib. Cause I would have had to feel it out and see what was going on with I would have had to feel it out and see how we were, how they playing over here in Russia this time. Cause I know I've been over here these many times before. And then when I was looking at the timeline of all the events that's been going on the last time they had did something on the timeline was they said that Trump agreed with Russia's decision when it comes to Brittney and Brittney's sentence. So Brittney, you baby girl, you under the wrong administration. You under the wrong administration. Hey Naomi. Yeah, I remember that. I do. You under the wrong administration. You are a United States citizen under the wrong administration. At this time, Russia don't care anything about Biden and his United States of America. He don't care nothing. And honey, I don't really think he care anything about Trump either. But he knew he could persuade Trump any way that he wanted to. He knew that he could put Trump on his team because they was working together. Trump was trying his best to help out Putin. I bet you if Trump would have won this election, we probably win. They big mad at us. And if Trump would have won this election, I don't really think that this whole Ukraine versus Russia war would be going on right now. I don't. So that's why I said this is political. At first, I have been listening to videos and everybody was trying to say, most for the most part, people have been saying that it's political. It has a lot to do with politics when it comes to Brittney. But other people had been saying it was the color of her skin. And I was like, no. And it could have some bearings, especially when I went and read about Audrey. And I was like, there's no comparison. Like, none of that equals out to it don't equal out. Audrey had 19 grams, and this girl didn't even have a whole gram of THC. Audrey had 19 grams, 2 months in jail. The mama went over there and pulled a Karen and got her out after 2 months of being locked up. And she acted a fool because she was saying at least she could be on house arrest. Let me get an apartment in Russia. I'm gonna sell my whole house here in the United States, and I'm gonna go over to Russia, and I'm gonna get an apartment over there so my baby can do house arrest. And they were like, child, here, how to get this motherfucker, take this little heifer on after 2 months. And they made them pay $300 and I think $74 for 19 grams. 19 grams. And Brittney had 0.7, not even a whole gram, 0.7. She had 0.7 grams. Her 0.7 grams equals 9 years and 1 million rupees. I think I said what that was 16,400 US dollars. And that girl paid 300 and some odd US dollars. Child. I'm so sick of Karen. Brittany, girl, if you don't be over there acting on the mother, girl, Brittany, let me tell you something, girl. You know you need to be over there crying. You need to be over there acting like Karen. It might be too late. It might be too late. You probably should have been acting like Karen last week, child. I mean, you know, when you first got locked up, you supposed to be acting like Karen. You should have been like, all the money I done brought y'all to these basketball games. Y'all know your team can't win without me. That's how you supposed to be acting, girl. You supposed to be over there acting like Karen, baby. Cause that's how that girl, that lady got her child out of jail. She went over there acting like a United States Karen to get her baby out of jail. She acted like how she acted, like Karen. And got her child out the jailhouse. So Brittany, and that's to everybody. Like I see and realize that um I might not have white woman tears, but I'm gonna start acting like Karen. See how far they get me. Not. We're not gonna act like Karen. Not at all. They ain't gonna get me nowhere. It ain't gonna get me nowhere. But if I ever get in a situation and Karen is harassing me and not minding her own business, as soon as I snap on her and she call 911 and they come, cause you know she gonna be snapping on me back. But when 911 come and she go to crying, I'ma cry too. We gonna be at that. We gonna be both crying. We gonna be both crying. But y'all, look, I've been on here for an hour. I wanted to come in and talk about this whole thing with Audrey and Brittany, and I wanted to break down the law in Russia when it comes to cannabis to see if they was over doing their law. The article that I found was back in 2019. So that was the law back in 2019. As far as the law is concerned, based on however they live in Russia, because I know that they don't have the same pay schedule or the same type of economics as we do as a Russian citizen. But based on that information alone, I feel like the fines are it seems like the fines are okay. And I feel like compared to um some of the time that people has gotten in the United States for illicit drugs, it's almost compare, it's the same. Really, it's the same. I know people who's gotten 10 years for marijuana in the United States. So I couldn't really say that it was harsh or unpunishable, but compared to the 2 month sentence that girl got, and they sent her little regular ass home, compared to these 9 years, oh, that's what I find a problem. And honestly, again, it's not due to the race; it's due to what's going on in the world today politically. And that Brittany, you should have tried that. You shouldn't have went there with that because we're under a different administration. Yes, when you was playing basketball last year and the year before, you probably did get away with going with your medical marijuana pen. But baby girl, we're not under the same administration. It's Biden time. But y'all, I had before I had did the live, I had work today. So I'm about to end the live. I keep saying that I'm about to end the live, but I miss y'all. I miss y'all. And I am probably gonna lay down and take me a nap and then get up later and fix me something to eat. And yeah. I missed y'all so much, and I appreciate everybody who dropped down in the chat. All five of y'all. I told y'all it don't be nobody over here but me, and we have a good time with me and everybody. You know, the other five of us. We have a good time. I appreciate you all so much for coming and joining me. Please give me a thumbs up. If you didn't watch the video that I did on yesterday, please go watch that video. I had a really good time doing that video as Scarlett and putting my 2 cents in when it came to Terrell Owens versus Karen. I had a real good time on that video. And yeah, they pissed me off. Especially, I don't know why. But I never did see the police officer, but it sounds like he would want me. And I'm looking at him, I'm looking at the screen, listening to the way that he was responding and reacting to the situation. And I honestly feel like they need to go ahead and find these Karens. They need to go ahead and start locking these hoes up and or again them 9 years and 1 million rupees a fine for wasting the police time and energy. I'm sure somebody was probably somewhere getting robbed, all kind of stuff happening, and you want to harass somebody and be in somebody's business. I keep telling y'all the whole thing when it comes to Karen is she's a nosy bitch. You know who Karen remind me of? She reminds me of Mrs. Kravitz. Do y'all remember Mrs. Kravitz? Hey Lynn, look Lynn T, I thought I was gonna be in that daggone premiere yesterday, and I was like, dang, I forgot. I had a dang on premiere schedule. I wanted to be in there and have fun with y'all and crank up the chat because, like I said, she remind me of Mrs. Kravitz. Do y'all know who Mrs. Kravitz is? Who in the chat? If you know who Mrs. Kravitz is, put a one in the chat. If you remember who Mrs. Kravitz is, put a one in chat. That's who Karen remind me of. She's so freaking nosy. She's so freaking nosy. Everybody business. It don't even matter. Being all anybody business. But Samantha, that's right. Samantha knew how to throw that B off. Samantha knew how to throw her off. Girl, I forgot I had an appointment and I was like, how you gonna set it for 2 o'clock? But I was just so happy to do that daggone video because I had started working on it the night before. And I don't know, I had gotten into something else and then finished it. And I don't know if y'all know me, but if I see something and I want to talk about it right away, the same thing when it came to this with Audrey. Girl, stop acting up. Same thing when it came to Brittney versus Audrey. I had saw that earlier today and I wanted to talk about it while it was fresh on my mind. And I decided that I was gonna do a little bit more intel research, detailed research on the matter and go and actually check out what the laws were because it gave me a good insight because I was trying to figure out how did they give her 2 months. So I wonder did Trump have some? How long? Wait a minute. When? Let me look that up. Hold on. Hold on, y'all. Let me look that up. Oh, okay. Yeah, that did it. He was in office from January the 2017 and January the 2021. So that makes plenty of sense to me. Because okay, so if Brittany got caught, I think Brittany got caught in March 2022. And so it says that the other girl, she had been over in Russia and got caught. And their maximum sentence is 10 years. She had 19 grams of marijuana. The maximum sentence is 10 years. She got 2 months and paid $374. And they were from Staten Island, New York. So the mama probably wrote a letter to Trump and said, "Please help me get my child." Yep, that's what it is. That's what it is. I got it. Under the wrong administration, baby. See, you okay? So Latonya, you right. She was able to do this because Brittany been playing for Russia on the off season of the WNBA for years now. So while she been going over there to Russia, he probably been in the administration because I think that they said she had been playing for them for the past 3 years. So them past 3 years, Trump has been in office. So Putin and Trump, they was buddy. So while he was in office, they was letting little stuff slide. They were letting stuff slide. But Brittany, you should have knew. Like, girl. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh Lord Jesus. Brittany, I can't believe you. I cannot believe this. You mean tell me? Look, Lynn T, just from what I just said, I'm not surprised because of the simple fact you've been doing this for years. You've been going over there for years with your little medical marijuana pen. And you mean to tell me you couldn't see the forest for the trees and know that if we was under a different administration, as soon as Trump would have got out of office, and they would have said, Brittany, you can go back over to Russia and play football. I mean basketball on your off season. I would have said, nah, I want to go to some other European country. I would have got my ass up out of Eastern Europe. Especially in they in war. Mm. When y'all signed on contracts, you couldn't get out that country. I would have had to get out that country. I couldn't have went back to Russia and Biden was president. I couldn't have went to Russia and Biden was president. They don't like United States. Brittany. Oh my goodness. Brittany. Y'all let me go, y'all. I don't got stupid now. I need to finish up some things around here. And if somebody go live, I come. If I'm not there,
because I need to do one thing. And usually when I'm looking at people live videos, I'm on my cell phone. I need to go and finish up one thing in my house, and then that's probably gonna take me about 3 hours. So if I'm not in the live, I'll check out the replay, and then if I'm done, I'll be in the live. I love you all. Again, please give me a thumbs up on the video. And I'm going to retitle this video. And I'm going to put me some tags and stuff and get me some views off this video because I ain't have nobody participating in the live chat. And if y'all heard me say that, whoever come and watch this video to the end, because we came to some type of anomaly in this video. We figured out the fact that Brittany ass knew but she shouldn't have went to damn Russia and tried the same fuck shit she was doing when we was in the Trump administration. Bye, y'all. Let me go.